process, it can be adversarial. Y'all have probably heard nightmares or had experiences with your family where somebody got greedy after somebody died. It's pretty normal. It's very normal. Wills can keep that down, but sometimes people can come in and contest a will. And in a case I'm working right now, aunt got really sick, and aunt's sister was very wealthy and didn't have time to take care of her. So aunt asked nephew and his living girlfriend with a baby to move in with her and take care of her. And they did that for 2 years into hospice and until she passed. Well, while she was still in hospice care, full capacity and everything, she changed her will that had left everything to her sister, the wealthy one, and changed it to leave her house to the nephew who had taken care of her. Makes sense, right? Pretty good decision. She did a handwritten will, which is called a holographic will, but she had it notarized, which made it invalid. She didn't know that, and nobody knew that. They just gave me this will. They said, my aunt filed this other will, but this is a newer will that she wrote, and this is what she wanted. She wanted me to get the house. And I looked at it, and I knew it was invalid. But it requires a court to determine whether it's invalid. So I went ahead and filed a will contest, and it's been 5 years I've kept those kids in that house. So I've mucked up that probate, right? Because I'm on the side of God on that, right? I mean, come on, that lady didn't need the house. So anyway, it's adversarial. I made it adversarial where those kids will stay there forever. I'll keep it mucked up so long. So you don't want someone coming in your case and mucking it up like I did, unless it was for the right reason, right? So when you go to a normal estate planning training, you're going to be planning for your death. That's what you do. That's normal, traditional. You walk into the office, you wait 30 minutes for them to come get you. You walk back, they do an interview with you. 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, you'll come in and sign a bunch of forms. 2 to 3 weeks later, you'll get your binder of your estate plan, and you'll never see that guy again. And that's normal estate planning if you go to a normal lawyer. I trained with a group of people called personal family lawyers. It's a little different, where we don't plan just for your death. We actually plan for your life. We make sure that your family's taken care of. We plan, we constantly meeting with our clients. Every year we do a review to make sure that nothing's changed. I use a digital vault is what I call it, where all your data is stored and all your assets are tabulated. So when you go buy a new house or something, you can go in your vault and update it. It alerts me that you bought something. So if I need to call you and, hey, did you do this or did you put it in the trust or whatever, I'm updated so I can make sure that your plan always evolves with you. If you have another kid, you call me because we need to make sure nothing needs to be changed. Most of the time it's nothing that needs any kind of work to be done. We just need to notate some things inside the trust and the binder and make sure it's done. But in short, we make sure that you're a little bit more taken care of than just pat you on the butt, good game, and see you. You know, we want to make sure you're kept going. When in a case like this, with you guys all being owners, one of the reasons I felt this was important because you guys all have, number one, you have shares in a company that's an asset. And yes, you have buy-sell agreements, and that's good. And you know, they're going to make sure, you guys should make sure, all of y'all, because y'all are all shareholders, that y'all make sure that the company can afford that. And that's what Chris Norris is going to talk to us about it too, on ways you can basically fund that without having to come out of money out of your own pocket, right? So when we start doing these plans, you know, they have everything from powers of attorney, they have healthcare powers of attorney, they have HIPAA releases, so you can make sure and let family members, the doctor be able to talk to your family members that you choose. There's actual, you will get a will when you do estate planning. They'll give you whoever you use will use a pour over will, which means that if you miss an asset, or say you go buy a piece of land near the lake and before you put it into the trust, you die in a car wreck. Well, now that piece of property has to go through probate. It's just the law, unless you have some kind of other form of conveyance, like it's in a joint tenancy or something with your spouse or some other method. It's going to have to be probated. So the pour over wills make sure that everything goes back into the trust and doesn't get lost. And so we make sure that happens for you guys. So let's talk about the estates plan for you guys. Generally, like I mentioned, if you're single and you don't have any kids, then the money goes up. It's going to go to your parents. It's going to keep going up until it's going to keep going. Say your parents are passed away, then it goes up, and if you have a brother or sister, it's going to come back down, right? So it's going to go up to where it can go down again to pay. So if you don't have any kids, it's going to go to your parents. If you have any brothers and sisters and your parents are dead, it's going to go to them. If you don't have any brothers, sisters, it just keeps going up until they find a distant relative or cousin, and that's where the estate will go. If anybody even files it anyway. If you don't have anybody that